Yo, what's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and today we are taking a look at the latest news on the Arizona Coyotes defenseman Jakob Chychrun and what could be the future for the Coyotes defenseman. Now, there's been a lot of talk, obviously, as we've made plenty of videos about Jakob Chychrun, and there continues to be some churning and swirling and rumors about where he could end up getting traded. And, at his contract and his cap hit, it's kind of hard to deny that there are rumors out there. He's a highly regarded defenseman, and for his cap hit and for what he gets paid, he provides a lot, and that is definitely valuable, but how valuable? And teams are kind of wagering how much value they should put on him at this point. There's plenty of suitors, plenty of teams interested. Could we see a deal get done soon? That is the real question. So the Blue Jackets had a deal that fell through for Chychrun over the summer. The Arizona Coyotes have shown interest in the Senators, the Los Angeles Kings. We've heard a lot of teams kind of trying to get something done. And, we heard here from Darren Drager. He said, the Coyotes are willing to take on contracts to facilitate a Chychrun trade. And again, it's one of those things where the Coyotes do have the cap space and they can get it done. So maybe instead of needing that third-party team to get a deal done, maybe they could find a way elsewhere to do that, right? There's a couple of different things that the Coyotes can do, and I think it's a benefit to them. Jakob Chychrun has told those close to him that he is open to joining the Blue Jackets. Again, take that for what it's worth, but it's something to mention. Then a couple weeks ago in training camp, a lot was kind of said that it's pretty quiet with Chychrun. He's expected to start skating in Arizona and is ready for training camp. And then we started hearing from Friedman. He said that Jakob Chychrun would really like to be traded out of Arizona and would like to get a deal done. The Coyotes are asking for at least the equivalent of 2 first-round picks for Chychrun. That is from Jeff Merrick. So we're hearing a lot of different notes here, and I think that's something to look at. Everyone really likes the Kings getting Chychrun, which I am on board with. We know that the Coyotes have shown a lot of interest in center Gabe Vilardi, and I think that's something to kind of keep an eye on. I think the Kings are definitely a team in the sweepstakes there. The Boston Bruins have also been mentioned, but the package is going to be expensive, and this was from Jimmy Murphy. He said Brandon Carlo and Matt Grzelcyk could be in play if Boston was going to be interested and were maybe pursuing a guy like Chychrun. Again, I don't know if that's necessarily worth it. This is from Michael Trakos. He thinks the Maple Leafs should offer Robertson and a 2023 first-round pick. I think they're in the spot where they could do that. And again, I don't like the idea of trading Robertson, but where is he going to play on the Leafs, right? Unless he's playing in the top 6 this year or next year, why force that, right? If you're going to keep Michael Bunting, I would say you're maybe capable of trading Robertson, right? So that's something to consider, and you really bolster your blue line. Ottawa is not willing to trade Jake Sanderson, Shane Pinto, or Ridley Gregg for Jakob Chychrun, and that was from Elliot Friedman. So don't expect the Senators to be in this hunt, because I agree, they shouldn't trade Sanderson, but if they're not going to trade Gregg or Pinto, you're kind of scraping there, because then what does it become? Brandstrom, Lassie Thompson, Jacob Bernard-Docker, who are good players, but I don't know if that's what the Coyotes want for Chychrun. And this was a more recent report from Kyprios. He said the Leafs, Senators, Oilers, Islanders, and Blue Jackets have been linked to Chychrun. And we haven't heard a ton about the Islanders, but I find that one quite interesting. Again, what's the price tag? Is it Oliver Wahlstrom? Well, maybe the Islanders aren't so interested in it anymore, right? This is from Chris Johnson. He said teams are interested in Chychrun, but want to see him healthy before making a deal. And I think that's a very important emphasis, because you want a healthy Jakob Chychrun, and a guy that didn't put up the best numbers last year, has been a little bit iffy in terms of health. That is something that teams are going to look at. Now, you look at his last couple of years. He played really well in the 2020-2021 season. That was a really good year for him. He picked up 41 points in 56 games, which is very good as a defenseman. But then he followed that up with kind of a lackluster season last year, only 21 points, but again, only 47 games. But again, that was an 82-game schedule. He only played 47 games. That's not good enough, and I think that's kind of why people are like, I don't know. I want to see more from him. Now, the thing is, he averages out 35 points per season. And again, he's been playing since 2016 with the Coyotes. So this is a guy that can put up 30 to 40 points as a defenseman, which is pretty good. And especially at his very low cap hit, I think it's like 3.5. That's something that teams are willing to take on. Now, the problem is, again, it's the health side of things. But you look at the last couple of weeks here in the beginning of this season, he has been playing a lot. Pretty much every night he's been playing over 20 minutes. Except last season, his first season, he averaged 16 minutes of ice time. Okay, and then ever since his rookie year, he's averaged 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 22 minutes, 23 minutes, and last season through 47 games, 23 minutes. So he's averaging about 20 minutes of ice time through his NHL career, and that's continued to go up every year since. So when I look at Chychrun, he's a guy that he's going to give you 35, 40 points if you're optimistic, right? That's what you're trading for. He might even be better because he's on a better team. So maybe you go along the range of he'll be better on our team. So maybe 40 to 45 points for Jakob Chychrun on our team in the top four, playing 22, maybe 20 to 22 minutes. Maybe give him a little less ice time because he's going to be on a better team. And he's going to be able to produce for us. The teams have to decide how much value they want to put on that. His contract status, his age, he's only 23, 24 years old. He's still very young. This is a guy that teams are going to be interested in, and there's a reason that teams are definitely looking at him. He's 24 years old, former 2016 first-round pick, 16th overall from the Sarnia Sting. This kid is really talented. There's been a lot of ties to him, maybe to the Florida Panthers, which we're starting to hear stuff about. They aren't happy with the Tkachuk trade because they lost Uyghur. Kids from Boca Raton, Florida. Is that something where we see him reunite back in his home state in Arizona? I think that would be quite interesting. But again, we have a lot of time to see what happens. This guy is a gym monster. He's a big dude. He's definitely not a small guy. 6'2", 211. He's built like a big hockey player, big defenseman. And this is a guy that teams are definitely, like I said, they're going to be interested in. He's played over 300 games in the CHL, 142 points. This is a guy that can produce. And I think that's something that a lot of teams will be looking at. Again, it's what's the value? Is he worth, again, if you're looking at some of these trades, again, is it Gabe Vilardi and a Kings first-round pick? Do the Kings want to give up their first-round pick? What is it going to take, right? And I think that the Coyotes are kind of waiting for the perfect offer to arrive in the perfect time. And a good season from Chychrun here at the deadline, maybe next summer as well. I think this is going to be a real possibility that he actually ends up getting traded. Guys, that's it for today's video. Let me know what you think down below. Where do you think Jakob Chychrun will end up getting traded to? Let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time.